Honestly, I grew up playing literally everything and I was super competitive, so my parents kind of just tossed me out there and wanted me to like get my energy out, whether it was soccer, softball, golf, track. I really did it all. And then when I got into high school, I kind of knew basketball was my future and I loved it and I wanted to practice it. And I think that's what was different. I like wanted to get better at it. I wanted to spend time working on my game, and that was probably what set that apart from all the other sports I played. They were just kind of like for fun with my friends. I was really competitive about it, but I didn't take extra time out of my day to go and work on my game and want to be better and be better than everybody else. So I think that's what kind of helped me figure out the path I wanted to take. And then I remember in high school, I played soccer and I was on varsity and I loved it, but my teammates would get mad because I would go and practice and work out and do basketball after school right before we had our soccer games, and they like couldn't believe that I was doing that. So I eventually had to give up soccer, even though I loved it. But I think
Caitlin Clark has always been a competitor. Growing up, she played nearly every sport: soccer, softball, golf, track, but it was basketball that captured her heart. Unlike the other sports she enjoyed for fun, basketball was different. She didn't
I think this is a good excuse to miss school. Absolutely. To see your sister do that. Anna Stolke posting up, but you know who they go to. 22! Abby Marshall. Here comes Clark. How will she go for history?
every sport: soccer, softball, golf, track, but it was basketball that captured her heart. Unlike the other sports she enjoyed.
If you thought Clark was dangerous before, buckle up.
The Marina Mabry, and she has a game in that opportunity. Clark for three, rattles for her first deep.
Just play it, she wanted to master it. She spent extra hours in the gym, working on her game, pushing herself to be better than the day before. Even in high school, her dedication was unmatched. As a varsity soccer player, she loved the game, but her passion for basketball took priority. She would train for basketball even before soccer games, shocking her teammates with her relentless drive. Eventually, she had to make a choice, and basketball won. It was clear.
Pumps had a good night here tonight. Points, she and Jackie Young leading the way at Clark. Boston screen, fire away.
Clear, this was her path. Fast forward to today, and Caitlin Clark is making waves in the WNBA like never before. She was already a generational talent, lighting up defenses with her limitless range and fear.
Thank you very much. That's what 6'5" would do for you. I don't have that luxury. Nice give and go. Clark right at the cup. Rebound, back Finlay.
Futility from three for the Sparks. 0 for 9. And
stuck in the air there. Fact Finlay comes up with it. Here's Clark in transition where she's dangerous. Leaves it behind for...
Here's just 1 of 5.
How about Fact Finlay running the floor? They go threes.
Yeah, they do. Nice concept, but it
won't go.
Shot making. But there was one challenge she had to overcome: the physicality of the league. Last season, defenders wasted no time exploiting her lean frame, bumping her off her spots.
Women's basketball has found its fame, and the reason for that is a 22-year-old playing in just her first WNBA season. Indiana Fever's point guard, Caitlin Clark, has already become the face of women's basketball, despite this being her debut year. To cap it off, Clark has won Rookie of the Year award, and she did that in some style, a unanimous choice of 66 of the 67 votes going in her favor. But it isn't just skill and accolades that make her the most popular face here on the basketball court. Clark's off-field and
forcing her into uncomfortable situations. Skeptics questioned whether she could Handle the transition from college to the pros? Was she just another college star who would struggle against bigger, stronger, and faster opponents? Clark heard the criticism, and she responded. Instead of backing down, she embraced the challenge head-on. This offseason wasn't just about refining.
Which makes it some really good offensive.
Clark seeing direction, feeds Boston. Indiana has the advantage. And Boston trying to beat all their opponents for the first time since 2010. Clark shot fakes the three, feeds inside to Boston.
Refining her shot or tightening her ball handling. It was about building a stronger, more resilient frame that could stand up to the most physical defenders in the league. She committed herself to an elite strength and conditioning program, designed to enhance her core stability, lower body strength, and endurance. Weightlifting, resistance training. Explosive movement drills. Every aspect of her training was meticulously planned to ensure she could not only absorb contact but initiate it. And the results? Game-changing. Clark now plays with more balance, more strength, and more confidence. She's not just dodging defenders, she's powering through them. She's proving not only absorb contact but initiate it. And the results? Game-changing. Clark now plays with more balance, more strength, and more confidence.
Third quarter. Behind the back, Clark. A wide open shot. And wide open is Caitlin Clark, but she can't knock it down from up top. Tries it again from a different spot. That one connects.
That she's more than just a sharpshooter, she's an all-around powerhouse, ready to dominate in ways we've never seen before. For those who doubted her, it's time to think again.
When I'm, looking at all these things that people are talking about with Caitlin Clark, it's like, guys, chill out. Like, she's gonna be fine. Like, it's 2 games in, are you kidding me? She's a student of the game, she got better every year. You're not going to just absorb all of the new information that's coming at you in 2 games, in 2 weeks. It takes time. And she will. I have no doubt about it. She's a student of the game. She continues to get better. And these are also points that coaches then address. Hey, let's continue to work on this. But it's really hard to work on some of those things in season. So this might be an off-season thing, right? Let's continue to play to our strengths. Let's find different ways to get the ball to our players. And then when we get time in the off-season, then we'll work on that next step or that next level.
Caitlin Clark isn't just keeping up. She's redefining what it means to be great. Make sure to stay tuned for more updates on her journey as she continues to take the WNBA by storm. Caitlin Clark has always been known for her deep shooting.
New sight on the court here at Carver Hawkeye Arena. That decal right at the spot where Caitlin hit that follow-away 3. The logo 3 to take the NCAA scoring record.
Range, capable of pulling up from the logo and draining shots that leave defenses scrambling. But now, she's evolving beyond just a perimeter sniper. Her latest transformation has turned her into one of the most dangerous offensive threats in the
It's up, it won't go down, and this building knows.
See Mitchell's going, what happened? For Caitlin, what a reaction by Caitlin.
WNBA. Clark's journey to the next level wasn't just about refining her skills, it was about completely rebuilding her physique. The days of defenders bullying her are over. She's stronger, faster, and more resilient than ever, making her a nightmare matchup for any opponent. Her coach, Stephanie White, has confirmed what fans and analysts have already noticed: this isn't just a small adjustment. Clark has made a full-scale evolution. Her arms are more defined from hours of weight training, her core is rock solid, helping her absorb contact, and her legs have been built for explosive power. The results? Undeniable. Clark's newfound strength has elevated every aspect of her game.
I guess he determined that Ariel Atkins had possession.
Clark, the switch on to Dolson, steps back.
Steph Dolson's in drop, and the screen is so...
14 from the field, but they've got a 5-point mark circling around. Sets up Samuelson, who's wide open and free.
She's attacking the rim with more force, finishing through contact instead of being knocked off balance. Defenders who once pushed her around are now the ones getting knocked back. Her extended shooting range is even more deadly, thanks to the added power in her legs.
If I decide to go to the WNBA, I hope it's that same thing. I hope I can continue to grow the game. I hope we're playing in front of sold-out crowds. I hope more teams are added to the league. There's so many tremendous players that don't even get the opportunity to play in the league.
Most importantly, her defense has leveled up. She can now hold her own against bigger, stronger opponents, making her an even greater two-way threat. When Clark first entered the WNBA, she was already a deadly shooter and lightning-fast ball handler. But elite defenders quickly studied her tendencies, forcing her into tough spots and making her work harder for her shots. Instead of relying solely on speed and finesse, she realized she needed to expand her game, and that's exactly what she did.
Clark from the logo!
Well, you could see and you could sense that she was starting to feel it again. And right here, the rhythm dribble. You can stop Johnson on the other end. Well, you better be careful. There might be another one coming right here.
With her new strength, Clark has added a physical dimension to her offensive arsenal. She's no longer just a shooter or a slasher, she's a post-up threat. Now, she can back down smaller defenders, gain position, and finish at the rim with ease. This forces defenses into an impossible dilemma: close out too hard, and she'll blow by them; play her too soft, and she'll muscle her way inside for an easy bucket. Perhaps the biggest shift in her game is her ability to dictate the physicality of a matchup. Defenders used to body her up to disrupt her rhythm. Now, she's the one initiating contact. She's using her
just 4 of 14 from the field, but Clark circling Samuelson, who's wide open and catches
strength to create space, absorb hits, and still get her shot off cleanly. This isn't just an adjustment, it's a transformation. Players who once sought to get under Clark's skin with aggressive defense are finding it doesn't work anymore. Hard bumps that once sent her flying now barely faze her. She's attacking the rim with confidence, shielding defenders with her body, and finishing strong. What used to be a weakness is now one of her greatest strengths. Literally, this transformation has had a monumental impact not just on Clark, but on the WNBA itself. A stronger, more dynamic Caitlin Clark isn't just a better scorer, she's forcing teams to rethink their entire defensive approach. The one tool defenders relied on to slow her down, physicality, no longer works. If Clark was nearly unstoppable before, what does that make her now? WNBA teams better start looking for a new game plan, because the old one just became obsolete. Caitlin Clark has leveled up, and she's letting the league know, the fight isn't on their terms anymore, it's on hers. Caitlin Clark is redefining the game of basketball, and the Indiana Fever are reaping the benefits. Her ability to score in multiple ways is no longer just a personal asset, it's reshaping the entire identity of her team. Last season, the Fever often struggled against more physical teams, getting out-muscled in the paint and overwhelmed by size. Opponents knew that if they could limit Clark's three-point attempts, Indiana's offense would stagnate. But that's no longer the case. With her improved ability to drive and finish at the rim, Clark
was called. The question is, will they call it unnecessary. Kennedy Carter.
Is opening up the floor for her teammates like never before. Defenses can't just chase her off the three-point line anymore, they have to respect her penetration, which forces them to collapse into the paint. That, in turn, creates kick-out opportunities for Indiana's sharpshooters, like Kelsey Mitchell and Alyssa Smith, making the Fever a much more efficient and unpredictable offensive unit. Clark's impact extends far beyond the court. Her presence in the
It's been a historic year for the WNBA. You know the Drake line, I'm the rookie and the vet. Let's start with the rookie, Caitlin Clark-Kent. Superwoman, you see what I did there? She was on a tear, and last night was no different. Wings, Fever, Caitlin Clark set to go as she broke the single-season assist record Friday against the Aces. And then in the third quarter, look at that step back. And that gave her a three more, which now passes Simone Augustus for the most points as a rookie in WNBA history. But it was a close one, especially in the fourth quarter. Watch this, Caitlin, that's 2. She does 2 as well. Indiana up 4. Now a few minutes later, Fever again up 2. Another step back 3. Now less than a minute later, I mean, how many times am I going to say this?
WNBA has drawn unprecedented attention, with viewership numbers skyrocketing whenever she plays. While some headlines focus on ratings dipping when she's not on the floor, the reality is that WNBA playoff games are still setting records, even in her absence. Her star power is undeniable, and she has helped bring more eyes to the game than ever before. Beyond her stats and highlight reels, Clark represents something even bigger, a shift in the league. She is forcing opponents to rethink defensive strategies. Caitlin Clark has always been a competitor. Growing up, she played nearly every sport: soccer, softball, golf, track, but it was basketball that captured her heart. Unlike the other sports she enjoyed for fun, basketball was different. She didn't just play it, she wanted to master it. She spent extra hours in the gym, working on her game, pushing herself to be better than the day before. Even in high school, her dedication was unmatched. As a varsity soccer player, she loved the game, but her passion for basketball
not to shoot, Mitchell will.
Took priority. She would train for basketball even before soccer games, shocking her teammates with her relentless drive. Eventually, she had to make a choice, and basketball won. It was clear, this was her path. Fast forward to today, and Caitlin Clark is making waves in the WNBA like never before. She was already a generational talent, lighting up defenses with her limitless range and fearless shot making. But there was one challenge she had to overcome: the physicality of the league. Last season, defenders wasted no time exploiting her lean frame, bumping her off her spots and forcing her into uncomfortable situations. Skeptics questioned whether she could handle the transition from college to the pros. Was she just another college star who would struggle against bigger, stronger, and faster opponents? Clark heard the criticism, and she responded. Instead of backing down, she embraced the challenge head-on. This offseason wasn't just about refining her shot or tightening.
Bullied, but that's in the book. That's not, we go into that a little bit in the arena, but yeah, I was, and things that I had to go through now, people will be canceled for saying back then.
So when you see
crazy.
Like a Caitlin Clark, what advice would you have maybe for her?
I just love that she tries to stay grounded, and she says she doesn't. What did she say? She doesn't have a social. She doesn't look at her social, and I get it. I don't either, and I think it's so important to just to continue to do what she's doing, and no matter what other people do, then if people are negative, it's because they can't do what you do, basically, and hopefully she'll continue to do what she's doing.
Her ball handling, it was about building a stronger, more resilient frame that could stand up to the most physical defenders in the league. She committed herself to an elite strength and conditioning program, designed to enhance her core stability, lower body strength, and endurance. Weightlifting, resistance training, explosive movement drills, every aspect of her training was meticulously planned to
Bonner gets denied by Boston. Wheeler finds Clark from the logo.
Ensure she could not only absorb contact but initiate it. And the results? Game-changing. Clark now plays.
You were so gracious in your victory interview about Caitlin Clark. Now she's on SNL doing Weekend Update. In order to create the success you're talking about, you need to have superstars, yes?
Caitlin Clark is a superstar. I credit her with raising the level. We're creating more eyeballs on our sport, and we need to thank her for that. And a lot of people think I'm being facetious when I say that. I'm not. I'm all for the greater good of our game. If she's a big part of it, we need to find the next superstar that will take our game to the next level, along with telling the storylines of a team like we had, an undefeated season, a historical season. We need to tell all the stories of our game, and I do think we will.
With more balance, more strength, and more confidence. She's not just dodging defenders, she's powering through them. She's proving that she's more than just a sharpshooter, she's an all-around powerhouse, ready to dominate in ways we've never seen before. For those who doubted her, it's time to think again. Caitlin Clark isn't just keeping up, she's redefining what it means to be great. Make sure to stay tuned for more updates on her journey as she continues to take the WNBA by storm. Caitlin Clark has always been known for her deep shooting range.
And you open up your Yahoo, you're going to see WNBA playoff viewership down now that Caitlin is out. And is that somewhat factually accurate? Yes. It's not accurate. Viewership numbers with Caitlin Clark are astronomical. She is a big draw. Yeah. She brings in all the things. We know this. We've said this. And yes, the games where she's not playing have lower viewership. But in the WNBA playoffs, and we'll use the semifinals as the example, the WNBA playoff semifinal games where Caitlin obviously is not in it because her team lost are still breaking records from previous WNBA years, are still cracking 1 million viewers. I believe the record was at like 930,000 overall viewership, but it got up to like...
Capable of pulling up from the logo and draining shots that leave defenses scrambling. But now, she's evolving beyond just a perimeter sniper. Her latest transformation has turned her into one of the most dangerous offensive threats in the WNBA. Clark's journey to the next level wasn't just about refining her skills, it was about completely...
Caitlin, what are your thoughts on all the moves so far and the state of this team?
I'm really excited. I think Kelly and Amber have done a really good job of, finding pieces that fit. It makes me excited about the future, obviously, with Steph and her staff coming in here, and my ability to work out with Keith all off-season has been really fun, but it's been fun. I got to work out with DB, and as some off-season leagues and overseas stuff kind of wraps up, a lot of them will start getting back, and I think it'll be a lot of fun to get in the gym and be with my teammates and just start putting the pieces together and see what works, what doesn't work. But I think we're going to have a lot of different options to do a lot of different things, and I think that's what's super exciting.
Rebuilding her physique. The days of defenders bullying her are over. She's stronger, faster, and more resilient than ever, making her a nightmare matchup for any opponent. Her coach, Stephanie White, has confirmed what fans and analysts have already noticed: this isn't just a small adjustment. Clark has made a full-scale evolution. Her arms are more defined from hours.
I think just more love and peace. I would say that's the biggest thing. I think there's just so much hate in the world right now. I think just everybody appreciating everybody for who they are and loving on one another. I think that's how I've always tried to go about my life and how I was raised, and I would say that's the biggest thing.
It's surprising to see in this social media all this hate and negativity about everything.
Yeah, I think that's just social media for you. I think being able to get off that. Social media is not really the greatest place to ever be on. I think that's something that I've tried to do over the course of my career, is not be on social media too much, and you never want to find your validation from people online. You should care about the people in your circle that, I always said, I only care about the opinions of my family and the people inside of our locker room and my teammates, my coaches. That's really all that I concern myself with, and if you live like that, you'll be in a really good spot.
Of weight training, her core is rock solid, helping her absorb contact, and her legs have been built for explosive power. The results? Undeniable. Clark's newfound strength has elevated every aspect of her game. She's attacking the rim with more force, finishing through contact instead of being knocked off. Balance. Defenders who once pushed her around are now the ones getting knocked back. Her extended shooting range is even more deadly, thanks to the added power in her legs. Most importantly, her defense has leveled up. She can now hold her own against bigger, stronger...
Well, I think a lot of folks were wondering after you talked a lot about waiting until the season was over to make the decision. They were wondering why you decided that right now was the right time to announce.
I think just going into senior night, having that decision clear, not only for myself, but our fans, my teammates, I think that was super important. And honestly, just, I don't know, getting the weight of the world off my shoulders and being able to enjoy this last month with my teammates, I think is the biggest thing. And, I think I kind of knew in my heart. So being able to kind of get that off my shoulders was the biggest thing. And
coaches to adapt their game plans, and fans to engage with the sport on a whole new level. As she continues to grow, so does the WNBA. So, what's next for Clark? More dominance. More highlights. More broken records. If she keeps up this trajectory, she won't just be remembered as a WNBA superstar, she'll be remembered as a legend. And for those watching, this is your chance to witness greatness unfold in real time. Stay tuned, because Caitlin Clark is just getting started.